Thanks for checking another one of our videos here. This is going to be hopefully a repair video on a Kencove solar unit. This is either a half joule model. It's called EK. Hold on. There we go. EKS.5H. This is a solar unit, half joule, like I was saying. Don't get too many of these in, but we've gotten a small little collection of them coming here recently. But we're going to go through them all and fix them all up. At least test them all. Hopefully we can get them fixed up. Alright, well, that's our information right there. So if you got a fence chart you'd like to send to us, be happy to help you out. If you want to try to fix this yourself, maybe we can help you out with some parts. Alright, so first thing I do, the customer didn't send the battery. Their note says that they installed batteries in them, but it still wouldn't work. So we're going to take this back cover off, or take the battery box off. We're going to probably clean up these. I think there's been bugs inside this thing because there's a lot of residue of dead insects in there, and these terminals are pretty crusty, so we'll probably change on those maybe, or at least clean them up maybe. But we'll do that if we have to in a minute, or at the very end or whatever. Well, I'm going to hook up power supply set at 13 volts. We're going to turn this around here, and we'll push the buttons. Alright, we can see it flashing, but I don't hear it clicking. So it's not discharging. It's cycling, but it's not discharging because the transformer's not making the clicking sound. So there are only two things that can be wrong with it now. Either the primary, the transformer's gone bad, or the board's bad. And we'll test the primary when we get inside here. If the primary is good, then it's the board. Primary is bad, and we might have a bad transformer. Alright, there's 6 Phillips screws. I'm going to tilt it on its side and dump these screws out on the bench so I can keep track of all of them. One, two, three, four, five, six. Okay. Alright, usually the top of the unit will come apart pretty easy like that. Flip it to the bottom, and then we're going to put a little pressure on it. So I usually put my fingers between it, kind of push, try to spread it apart, put a little pressure on there, and then pushing those little tabs inside here, and that will help persuade it, help unlock it. Come on. There we go. Work our way across. 2 more tabs. Man, these things don't like to pop apart very easily. That might be a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. Good thing because it doesn't come apart easily, so that's nice. But then it's pain in the neck to get a part to work on. All right, there we go. All right, we'll flip this back front cover open. All right, this is old style. We're going to unplug these wires from the back of the solar panel. Come on. Oh. Let's pop loose. That's nice. That's why they probably don't use these anymore, this style. There's got this epoxy glue stuff on there, so we're going to have to cut that. I think this has been worked on before. come on. I can't for the life of me get that off there. And I really don't want to break. We're going to have to try to solder that back on there. I'll pull it off. Oh, God. Whoever did this. And you made it hard for the next guy, which is me, to work on it. Maybe this, instead of soldering, they just kind of put it in place and hot glued it on there. I don't think this is epoxy because it's not really, not very like hard like epoxy would be. Come on! Oh, God dang. See if you can cut off some of this hot glue crap that's on there. I'm hoping that this thing is solderable, like we can put solder on it. Hope so. Get this cleaned up. There's a bunch of hot glue stuff stuck on it too. Solder ain't going to stick to that. That's in the way. All it's going to do is stink up the place. Alright, let's put this piece, we'll just set it in that little battery box up there. Let's get the soldering iron out. We got set to about 750 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's see if solder will stick. Will stick to this at all. Oh yeah. Alright. Let's get this over here. Let's bend that up like that. That's pretty tight there. See if we can heat this up. I need a pair of hands, second pair of hands to help hold this. Let's hold it there, let that harden up, cool off. Oh yeah, that's on there nice and tight. Oh, look, that one is. Oh no. This one. Pull the solder pad right off the thing. Oh, ain't that nice? Probably why they don't do this style anymore. Well, the good thing is if you look up here, there's a solder joint right up here. So what we could do right here, the solder joint right here falls all the way around to there where that used to be. So what we're going to do, since this one's probably no good anymore, I will test continuity between here and here, make sure that this is good, but we'll solder a wire up here and we'll splice that back into this one or something. We'll figure it out because I don't think we're going to be able to salvage that thing. Alright, let's do a continuity check. Put our meter on continuity, which is that little speaker symbol on the meter. We're going to go from here, make sure it's good. Here to here. Nope. So I don't think there's anything there. Nope. Alright. Alright. Let's see. Let's get the solder out. Let's add some solder to this tab here just to get a little more surface area. And that is our positive, so just to make it easy for possible repair for next time, I need some red wire. Strip off a little bit. Take a solder out. Add some solder to that tab, to that wire, and then just heat the two of them up together. Cool off and harden up. Ow. And I'm going to cut it kind of long. Well, not too long, just right there, I'll be fine. Alright, let's... Okay. Now we've got to... Oh shit, that was our negative. Damn it. Actually, I'm just gonna... It's actually a negative, so it's... We should have used like a black wire or green or something that's not red. Well, I didn't have any other wire sitting right here, so we're gonna just use with what we got. All right, so this is a positive, so this will go right here, and this one we will figure out how I want to do that. We'll probably just cut and splice that on there, and then like solder and heat shrink it or something. Let's put that solder pan off to the side. Let's get this part of it figured out. Come back to that part of the repair in a minute. All right, this is the brain box, I call this, where all the magic happens. So we got to get this apart. There's the inner guts. Got your circuit board with all the timing mechanisms on there. Yep, bugs got in here and mess that up. So let's check a primary of our transformer. Let's unplug the blue or the yellow and black. Now, since I unplugged one, we can get to the black one just fine. But that way, there's no interference from the board. On the transformer, we're going to unplug at least one wire. We're going to go to ohms. It's a horseshoe symbol. We're going to go across the black wire, and the yellow wire should be 0 to 1 ohm. We're at 0.2, so the primary is fine. So our battery's bad. So let me go grab another battery. Our board's bad. So let me go grab another board. All right, here's the new board. So we're going to go ahead and plug all the wires in, one plug at a time, because I don't have this memorized. So whoops. Try to unplug this in a way to where it's not tangled up too much. Okay, I'm going to get this board out. The little tabs here is going to push them out of the way and lift up at the same time to get a little pressure past stuff. if I got the little clear cover there for the switch needs to come off. It just pulls out. I just have to pull it off there before I pull the board out. Now I'll take the new board, kind of get it squared up. It has these little push tabs. You got to push it down around, make sure it's all square and flush, and make sure the switch is pretty center. And then we'll pull it back together, which is sometimes easier said than done because all these wires. So I usually kind of pull the wires out, and if we need to push them back in, we can, but it kind of pulls all the excess out of there so that way it's not so crowded inside this box. One side, and then there's that. And it just sits like this. Get our switch piece back on here. Alright, it's going to sit right there. But before we do that, let's hook up power back to it again. So I got about 13 volts on my power supply hooked up to it. And push the button. Flashing. And I can hear it clicking. Not very loud, which is fine. They're not a loud unit. Let's put our tester on the inside right here, which is our fence and ground. Should be about 8,000 to 9,000 volts out of it. Right where it should be. Alright, so turn it off. Let's get that solar panel section back over here. No, well, here in a second I will. Let's cut this off. Strip this back. Put some solder on this wire. I'll get some heat shrink and we'll solder the two together. And that will be what ties our solar panel back together here. Alright, I gotta go here out of the screen here, and I gotta put some solder on the end of this other wire that was on the back of the solar panel, the wire that I added. Okay, should be able to bring this down. Nope, heat shrink first. Hard to put heat shrink on after you already soldered it. Alright, slide this like that. Alright, this ought to be fun. Alright, hold them side by side, heat them both up at the same time. And then we'll turn this heat gun on. Slide that over the whole thing and make sure it's centered, where everything gets covered up. Okay, that's done. That's our deal for that. Now we'll take this wire, plug it on here. Put that right there, and then we'll slip that. Come on. Cockeyed or something. I think that's what I was. This thing, yep, just as just a little cockeyed in that spot there. So now we'll just squeeze the bottom here, flip it over, put our screws in. This one's done. This one took a little longer just because I had to do that, fix that solder, fix that wire on that solar panel, but that saved from having to replace the solar panel with another new one because some guy who did it last time just super glued or hot glued it and didn't actually fix it. Put a band-aid on it. Alright, well this one's done, ready to go. We'll flip it over and we'll put our battery box back on. Let's change out this connector here. It's got one of those piggyback type connectors, like a extra spade on the back side. We'll put another one of those on there. I got those on hand. Don't use them that often, but we do stock them. You never know. I don't know if we need this wire will be, yep, there we go. Now we'll crimp that. That's nice and clean and new. This one, it's got some corrosion starting to build up in the middle there. Let's go ahead and put another one of those on there as well. Let's cut a little bit more of that. That's cleaner because I said the wire I just clipped out there was a little dirty. I think it's corroded a little bit. Alright, on this particular one, I'm going to put this stuff called Super Lube dielectric grease. I'm going to put a little bit on that there on the wire. Maybe that'll prolong that, keep that corrosion from developing. Alright, now we can take this back battery box thing. We're going to lay it down and then kind of hinge it forward. How do these look? Oh, we got to change those too. Well, let's get those changed out as well on the ones that go from our power supply battery charger thing. We'll go ahead and plug these wires together. Now we're done. Alright, well this one's ready to go. We'll call up the customer and give them a quote. Sure, they'll fix it. Pretty cheap fix for a unit. So there's some information right there, fencerfixer.com. Our address, what we do, who we are is our other website, cattlescalerepair.com. We also work on livestock and weigh scales for low bars for weighing cattle and livestock and other things, I guess. But until next time, we'll see you guys later on and have a good rest of your day.